Hello and bonjour, and slightly belatedly, bonne année, Happy New Year. And where better to start the new year than right out at the end of Line 8 of the Paris Metro and the southeastern suburb of Créteil. Okay, don't answer that question, but you may remember the last time I brought you all here, back in the distant days of August 2025, I was telling you how Paris had decided to extend this particular metro line with a cable car, and they were planning to open it before the end of December.
Since then, there have been two important developments. Number one, the cable car has opened, and number two, it snowed. So I reckon this is a great time to go and test it and see what the views are like.
So this is the brand new Line C1, the Paris region's first urban cable car. In other words, it is a cable car that is designed to function as regular public transport, and you can use it just like a tram, a metro, or a bus. In the last video, we talked a bit about why they built this instead of a tram, metro, or bus, but today we're going to see why. And before that, I should just clarify, what you're looking at is not an Alpine ski resort. We are still in the Paris suburbs, and the French capital is by no means the first major urban area to try the idea of cable cars. There are cities in Latin America who've built entire networks of them. But the new C1 is, according to the operators, the longest urban cable car so far constructed in Europe. The line is 4.5 kilometres long. It has a total of 5 stations, and it connects a bunch of outer suburbs that previously only had a bus service. Or on a day like today, when the buses are cancelled because of the snow, they had no service at all. So the fact they've built something that was designed to run in an actual alpine ski resort suddenly looks like a brilliant piece of forward planning. But like I say, the real reason they built the cable car is that they wanted to extend the metro line without actually extending the metro line. And we're about to see one of the big reasons for that decision. Because we're about to fly over an absolute spaghetti bowl of roads and railway interchanges. Any metro extension would have to go either under all of this or over it, making it very expensive, while buses have to go all the way round it, making them extremely slow. The cable car, on the other hand, can simply sail over everything in a matter of seconds, cutting journey times in half compared to the bus, and it cost a fraction of the price it would have cost to extend the metro. Anyway, we've now reached the first station on the line, and one of the people sitting in the seats opposite me has decided to get off, which is great news because I can now show you what the view looks like going forwards. The cabins are designed to seat up to 10 passengers. They can also accommodate wheelchairs, and I have to say, this is a really nice way to travel. The ride is incredibly smooth, even when you go over the pylons. The cabins are extremely quiet, the only real noise is the other passengers, and the views are way better than you get on a bus. The views are mostly of things like railway lines and large suburban warehouses, but the C1 was never designed to be a tourist attraction. It's purely a coincidence that those are exactly the kind of things I like to look at. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter if I like it, or even if you like it. Sorry. The only real measure of success is if the people living here actually use it. Right now, it is still very early days. The line only opened on December the 13th, and I'm yet to see any official ridership statistics or anything like that, but it already seems to be at least medium busy. Of course, it's possible more people are using it today than normal because the buses aren't running, and it's also possible there will be days in the future when the cable car stops running, for example in high winds, and everyone has to pile back onto the buses. If anything though, that just shows the value of having different options. There will always be something now to keep these suburbs moving. So how long until other Paris suburbs decide that they want a cable car too? Or even a cable car 3? A cable car 4? Could we see even longer lines than this one? Well, it would seem there are quite a few examples of why that might not happen. For all the advantages of cable cars, there will always be reservations about building them. Do people feel safe travelling in such an enclosed space? Do you feel safe when the system breaks down and you're left dangling 30 metres in the air? And perhaps the biggest stumbling block, do local residents and businesses need extra transport enough that they're willing to give everyone a perfect bird's eye view of whatever they're getting up to in their backyard? The regional government in Paris has actually looked at plans for at least a dozen new cable car lines, and so far, only this one has got off the ground. If the C1 proves to be a success, then we might see the French capital building one or two others. But the geographic, political, and various other circumstances will need to be just right. Speaking of which, there is one more criticism we really need to address.
So here we are in wherever this is. Villanova, I guess.
A question I've seen a lot of people asking is, why does the journey end here? If you look at a map, it seems like they could easily have extended the cable car one more stop, and it would have connected with line D at Villeneuve-Saint-Georges. Instead, you have to get off the cable car and then get on a bus that then takes you to the station. So why not just connect it up? Well, according to the official FAQ page, they decided not to take the line any further because, and I quote, studies showed it would have a very large impact on the urban environment. What exactly does that mean? I think what they're saying is, unlike the rest of the route, there are too many buildings in the way, and they'd have to demolish some of them to fit the pillars in. Or in other words, circumstances were not quite right. So that is Paris's new suburban cable car. Clearly not without its flaws, but I really like it. And it's already showing how it can be a very effective alternative. Because like I said just before I lost my job as a marriage counsellor, in a perfect world, you would have alternatives. When things inevitably break down in the future, you'd have somewhere else to go. And if you get one of these, it is relatively cheap, it's clean, it's electric, you don't have to wait for it to turn up, and it can get you there in half the time. Anyway, if you'd like to take a ride on the brand new Line C1, it is roughly half an hour from central Paris on Line 8, and a single ticket costs the same as a bus or a tram. As of 2026, that is €2.05. You'll also need a separate ticket for the metro journey, or just buy a daily or weekly pass and it's all included. And like I say, the cabins are designed to be wheelchair accessible. In fact, the operators will happily stop them briefly if someone needs help getting on. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.